What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're once again here with another offseason rebuild, but this time we're circling back to the teams that never even made it to the play-in or the playoffs. It's been a while since we've done one of those, and funny enough, we have my favorite team today that obviously missed out on both of those. Portland had a little bit of a chance to make it into the play-in this year. It didn't end up happening. They were hot at some points, got cold, and unfortunately they didn't make it in. But let's go ahead, talk about this Blazers team, and let's do a Portland Trailblazers offseason rebuild in NBA 2K25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. We're currently on the road to 50,000 subs, so you want to help us reach that goal, that would be amazing. Can we just say, by the way, these playoffs have been absolutely insane. It's just been crazy, man. Now, unfortunately, on Wednesday, I missed the games because of my birthday. I was out and about that night. But I know there was a crazy inning once again in Boston. And then I think OKC Denver was just like OKC just basically took care of business. But obviously Indiana with Halliburton and things, man, it's been crazy. That's all I got to say. It's been wild. But let's talk about my favorite team, the Portland Trailblazers, who a lot of people are very high on their future. And I do think if it's executed correctly, it could be a really good team going forward. But that's the question. Is Joe Cronin going to make things happen in the correct way? We shall see. Because while there is a lot of young players to be excited about here, there's also some weird things about this team where this team is paying like guys like Aiden and Jeremy Grant just so much damn money when this should be a rebuilding roster. I don't know. Let's just go ahead and get in the offseason and let's talk about what I hope happens this offseason for the Blazers. You have the Cavaliers and the Timberwolves. So after the Pacers were up 2-0, the Cavs came back. And the Timberwolves go on to win the championship. Game 2 will be tonight. As I'm recording this, I think I won't be dropping this till Friday, though. So I'm recording this on a Thursday. But Anthony Edwards is your Finals MVP. So yeah, we'll see if they even up the series tonight. You guys will know by the time you watch this video if they did. But no Stephen Curry. I imagine the Timberwolves are going to be looking to bounce back. But let's get to the lottery, because obviously the Blazers could potentially get some lottery luck, which would be awesome. But they're like, I think 9th best odds or something like that. So like 9th or 10th. It's not great. So yeah, we're the 9th best odds. So a 4% chance, give or take, if you round up, to get to number 1. So now that would be awesome if we did. I'm not counting on it today, so let's see if the lottery luck does fall in our favor, and it does not. So we're gonna be picking number 9. Spurs get 1, Hornets 2, and the Raptors will be picking 3. Jazz with the 4th pick, Wizards 5, but of course we'll be picking at number 9. So we will go ahead and draft there. And then for the staff, Chauncey Billups, of course, did get extended, so he is the head coach going forward. So we'll leave that the way it is, and let's head to draft night. So on draft night, I'm hoping to make a trade before draft night. We've talked about this. I don't need to, go over it too much. We all have, kind of heard the rumors and talked about it. And it's actually materializing right now as well in real life. There's actually some rumors circling around that the Magic may finally be interested in Anthony Simons, which I think as Blazers fans, if you're watching this, we all agree that Simons would be exactly what Orlando needs. Maybe they're looking for somebody better than Simons. That could be possible. Like maybe they go after a Trae Young. But Simons shouldn't cost them a ton, and he would fit perfectly. He's also from the area, and he's an Orlando Magic fan, so it just makes too much sense. So I do want to trade Simons on draft night. My goal this offseason is to try to get the young starting 5 to be starting this year. I want Donovan Clingan, I want Shaedon Sharpe, I want Kamara, I want Deni Avdija, and I want Scoot all starting going into year 1, and I want to evaluate how it goes off that. So let's start with the Orlando trade with Simons. So to me, like I said, it shouldn't cost a ton. Just salary filler in their late pick in this draft, I think would be just enough. So let's say it was, I don't know, what contracts do they have? So we have Cole Anthony's contract. We have KCP's contract if they wanted to move him. Maybe they want to keep him, and maybe it's Cole Anthony. Or maybe they could do something where it's just, trying to see, like not De Silva necessarily. Let's say, okay, so they do need some matching salary in here. So it might have to be KCP's contract, which, man, if you're the Blazers, would you really want to take on... Well, I guess it's player option next year, right? That would suck to take on his contract. And then Cole Anthony's is a team option. So let's say you did... I guess it's going to have to be KCP's, whatever. So KCP's contract, the 16th overall pick, and then maybe it's Gary Harris's salary. So KCP, it was, like I said, the 16. Was it the 16? Or sorry, we have 24 as well. So maybe it's 16 or 24. Either way, give or take, let's say it's 24, right? Let's just say it's 24. I'd like to be 16 if I was a Blazers fan, but I'll just do 24 to be conservative. So KCP's contract, well, you know what? Maybe since we're taking on KCP's contract, we'll make it 16. So let's see if they agree to this. They want a second. We'll do a second swap. So since we're taking on a KCP salary, we'll go ahead and do a 16th pick instead. So just like that, that's the first trade we're doing. So we're going to be walking away with Simons out of the gate. I think it just makes more sense for him to be off this team and somewhere else. And now we get to pick with number 9 and 16. So let's go see what we can do at number 9. So we have Trey Johnson on the board, 6'6", guard. I do think this pick would make a lot of sense. Also going to get some more size in here with Derek Queen, but I do think we got to go Trey Johnson here, falling to us at pick number 9. So Trey Johnson, 6'6". Not really sure where he'll play eventually, but we just got to play the fact that he could be BPA. So we'll take Trey Johnson here out of Texas. Derek Queen would have been a nice pick as well. Decided not to go that route. Will Riley goes. And then, I thought I saw some breaking news just dropped on my phone, but nope, it's not. You got Knepel going, or however you say his damn name. Sorry, I don't know how to say it. Noah goes. And then for us at 16, so this is from obviously the Simons trade. We could take some more size with like Carter Bryant. We could take Asa Noel or Thomas Sobers. What else do we got? So Asa Noel, Ian Jackson, Sobers, Traore, Hugo. Okay, I think I am going to go ahead and take Asa Noel. So what about Carter Bryant? Carter Bryant maybe is a little bit of a better shooter. Trying to get some more shooting in here. Colin Murray Boyles, I guess, shot 38% on 32 games played. And then he shot 34%. So I'm going to still take Carter Bryant out of Arizona. So that's going to be our 2 picks. So we walk away with Trey Johnson and Carter Bryant in the draft. Not too shabby. And then for player options, you have Shaden Sharp, Scoot, which will be accepted. Thibault accepts his player option. Chris Murray and Ryan Rupert, of course, will all be accepted as well. Qualifying offers, Jabari Walker is also a free agent. So we'll maybe look to re-sign him. We'll see about that. And then you have Walker, McGowens, and Justin Minaya all as our bird right free agents. So Scoot is the starting point guard next year, which is what I want. I want Sharp to start the 2. Trey Johnson's going to be playing somewhere here as well. We have Grant Kamara. Again, Grant is here, and I do think the Blazers are going to have a very hard time getting off his contract, so he is going to stay on the bench for us this year. Carter Bryant, I might end up moving Grant to the power forward, though. And then obviously, we also, I feel, need to trade Robert Williams as well, where Aiden and Klingon is kind of our center rotation next year. So let's go ahead and see if we can get something for Robert Williams. That way we kind of free up this center logjam between him and Aiden, because I think Aiden would be hard to move as well. But Aiden and Klingon could be our center rotation going into next season. So I don't mind this trade from the Los Angeles Lakers where we're getting Gabe Vincent. Now, I don't think... I forgot they don't have a first-round pick to trade or a second-round pick to trade. So we can't do that trade with the Lakers. I don't think Robert Williams is worth a first anymore. His injury history would not net a first, in my opinion, anymore. I think that is dead, and I think they should have done... Maybe they should have traded him as soon as they got him, because then maybe would have gotten a first 4, maybe even 2. But now that ship has sailed, in my opinion. So the Charlotte Hornets maybe could use him. So they want to give me 2 firsts. So let's say... we just took like 3 seconds off of them instead, because again, I just don't think Robert Williams is worth a first anymore. So we'll do that. We'll get Robert Williams out of here. So now we kind of have our rotation kind of shaping up. I don't think we're going to be too active in free agency, although AJ Mitchell is an interesting player that got waived from the Thunder. So we're going to go ahead and give AJ Mitchell a deal. So AJ Mitchell is going to be a nice addition here. We'll sign him. I actually don't think we're going to bring back Jabari Walker or Delano Banton, and then we're not going to worry about this trade exception. So AJ Mitchell and the 2 draft picks are going to be, I guess, the 2 major additions. Obviously, you have the case or the Simons trade as well. And then what we just did for Rob Williams, which is a couple seconds. But you have Klingon up to an 82. Scoot is up and Shaden Sharp is up. And then obviously Deni Avdija and Tamani Kamara are exactly where I want them to be as well. So this is all looking good. All that matters now is messing with the shot tendencies going into next season. So I'll show you what I'm thinking. And we'll have the young starting 5 start next year, which I can't wait to kind of see what that looks like. So powering lists us 21st overall, and here is the proficiency. So we are 3.5 perimeter centric, so I guess we should probably move Chauncey over to perimeter centric and rock with that. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. The perimeter centric is what we're going to rock with here, and then let's go take a look at the starting 5. So we have Scoot Henderson, Shaden Sharp, Tamani Kamara, Avdija, Aiden, and then Klingon. So I don't mind. So then you have Rupert, Carter Bryant. So this is a fine 10-man rotation. I'm cool with this. So the only thing I'd like to change is I'd prefer if Klingon was starting, just for the defense alone. So Scoot, Sharp, Kamara, Avdija, Klingon. That looks good. Aiden, AJ Mitchell, Jeremy Grant, Trey Johnson, and Thibault as your rotation. That is totally fine. Now, I want to mess with the shot tendencies because I've done a video. I just got Deni Avdija in the Lakers rebuild, and then I've also done a video. You guys think the last Blazers rebuild we did, we made Deni Avdija a superstar. And I think that is the hope if you're a Blazers fan, is that Deni can take an all-star jump next year. He showed some promise this year. Obviously, was kind of showing some flashes in Washington too. but he really came together here in Portland, hoping to take another jump, or we're hoping to see him take another jump with him only being 24 years old. So I am going to give him a high shot tendency and see what he can do with it. Also, same thing with Scoot and Sharp. I'd like to see them score quite a bit as well. So I'll go probably the reverse order, and then we'll go Scoot with a high touch tendency and Sharp maybe a little bit less. And Scoot can have, you know, something like that. We'll do something along the lines of that. So these three guys, obviously, Kamara shot tendency could be maybe a touch higher as well. But obviously, Kamara is a player that all us Blazers fans are very high on. I think the league is noticing how good he is as well. But we'll rock with that. So I have no expectations for this season. I would love nothing more than be in the playoffs and the play-in. That's the Blazers' expectations that they've set on themselves based off what Chauncey and Joe Cronin have said. But we shall see if it works out that way. Off to a decent start, but we'll have to see if the 2K sim finishes that way. So at the end of season number 1, Shea wins MVP, Igor is your rookie of the year, DiVincenzo 6th man, Giannis defensive player, Duran most improved, and Booker's your clutch player, Thibodeau is your coach of the year, and Staples is your executive, and here's your all NBA first team. So assume we don't have like anybody representing the Blazers, obviously, and then here's your all NBA or defensive first team, all defensive second team. Here's all rookie first team and all rookie second team. So you do get Trey Johnson making it, which is nice. Shot 37% from 3 off the bench, 9 points per game. Again, I don't really know what Trey Johnson's future is going to be on this team, whether he's traded or coming off the bench or starting, but he was the BPA, which is why you take them. So we did not make the playoffs if you didn't realize that just yet, but we went 27 and 55, really bad. We were really, really bad. So here were your player stats. You had 21 from Danny Avdija with 8 rebounds, which is what we kind of wanted to see out of him. 19 from Shane Sharp, 15 from Scoot, 12 and 8 from Aiden, 11 from AJ Mitchell, 9 from Kamara, and then 9 from Trey Johnson. So let's simulate these playoffs. And honestly, for me, the hope is to get lucky in the lottery. You know how long it's been since I've had AJ DeBanza in a video? It'd be so cool if I could get AJ DeBanza on this team. I just don't know if we're going to get that lucky, man. That would be, you know, solve all of our problems. LeBron James and Al Horford retire as a Laker. Well, let's get into the lottery. So, again, my hope is to get lucky, which isn't a great strategy, obviously, but it's the strategy that we have right now. So, we are projected 4th best odds, actually, at number 1. So, not bad. It says the Bulls are getting it, but our pick is lottery protected for a very long time. So, fingers crossed we get to number 1 overall. Here we go. And we get number... Wow, that's brutal. We dropped to 6. So the Wizards get number 1, Utah's gonna have 3, and the Bulls get 2. So that is quite unfortunate. So we drop all the way to the 6th overall selection, which does suck. And obviously after this season, I do think there would be a chance that Chauncey would be fired based off the performance. Because again, this team has talked about how the expectation is to make the playoffs. And, you know, they didn't do that. So now Doug Christie and Will Hardy have been hired long-term now. Missoula, of course, finds the Celtics down 2-0 right now as I'm recording this. But I guess Missoula would be awesome. I'll give him an offer, but I have no idea if he's going to take it. And then let's see what else we have. So we have Stauffer, of course. Kid, who, you know, was part of the Blazers targets once upon a time, and then he said he didn't want the job. That was back when Damian Lillard was here, of course. You have Joshua Willis, who's an assistant, but actually has some pretty good ratings. So let's give Joshua Willis an offer, too. None of them are going to accept, though. Damn, we go 0 for 3. Okay. Not great. Let's keep going, though. So we have Underwood, Peterson, Diego, who's a defensive system. And then you have Kemba Walker, who the Hornets would probably block. You have Morris. Not any real head coaches necessarily, which is always kind of annoying, but what can you do? So I guess let's just go all the head coaches. So I don't know. What do we go? I guess I'm going to go Barry Stevens. No, I don't like any of these options. I'm not going to lie to you. All these options absolutely suck. Horrible options. Do I just go Stauffer? Because I literally don't like any of these options. I'm going Stauffer, dude. And I know I shouldn't because he's not real, but I don't even care. All those options suck. So let's head to draft night. And we have the 6th overall selection, so we'll have to see what we can get with that. We'll continue to add assets to this team. And who knows? Maybe get aggressive this offseason and make some kind of an aggressive trade. But we'll see. Also, what we could do is we could try to get off Grant's contract using the 6th overall pick. Maybe we could find a team that would take his contract on if we traded down. Let's see. And also need to fix the Knicks and Thunder pick as well. So I'll do that in just a second. But is there any team, like, would the Kings entertain the idea of acquiring Jeremy Grant if we traded down to 13 and we get off his contract entirely? I don't know. We might look into it. So we're actually going to go ahead and do this trade down scenario with the Milwaukee Bucks. Assuming they're still trying to build around Giannis and maybe Dame's healthy now, you could, acquire Jeremy Grant to reunite. Oh, God, he was horrible, though. So the reason why we do this is we trade down 2 picks, and Kuzma's contract expires a year earlier than Grant's does. So I guess that's why we're kind of doing it. So we'll get the 8th overall pick. We trade down 2 spots, and we get off Grant's contract. Don't have to worry about it next year. So Kuzma is now a Blazer for only a year. I don't think I'll keep him past a year. He's also an expiring contract that we can maybe use at the deadline too. We can't forget about that. We'll just keep our options open, but let's see how the draft order goes. So AJ, which I really wanted to get lucky and get him. I haven't had him in a video in so long, but I have not gotten lucky to do so. Boozer to Chicago, Peterson to Utah, Malik Thomas to Miami, Caleb Wilson to Phoenix, Elijah Arenas goes to Milwaukee, so I guess we missed out on Elijah Arenas potentially, and then Darius goes to the Pelicans. So we have Koa Pete, Jaylen, we have Chris, and then Harrelson. I think I'm going to go Jaylen here. So we're going to get some more size. We do need a new backup 5 with Aiden probably not being re-signed. So I'm going to go Jaylen here at Arizona State to be the pick at number 8 overall. So that's going to be our draft. And we get a 76 overall. So he'll probably back up Donovan Clingan right away, probably. So we have Chris Murray, which I'm fine with declining that. And then we have KCP's big expiring contracts. So one thing we do have is we have some big expiring salary, which could be useful at the deadline. We have AJ Mitchell, Ryan Repair, and Shane Sharp all as restricted free agents. So we could be in a good position to trade for a star at the deadline. I will say that. So hopefully we find ourselves in a position like that. So Kuzma and then Carter Bryant's going to be part of this, and Jaden's going to be part of this, and obviously Trey Johnson's going to be a part of this, but we still have to resign Shaden Sharp, and I still want to resign AJ Mitchell as well. I think those will be the only 2 I resign. So Shaden Sharp, I'm going to wait though. I'm going to wait a little bit. So we're going to renounce, Thibault. We're not bringing back Aiden Thibault or Duop Reith. We've drafted our new backup 5, who's going to be a lot cheaper. So yeah, we're going to settle on that. AJ Mitchell looks like he'll come back on his qualifying offer again. But I'm going to try to get Shaden Sharp for as cheap as possible on the last day of free agency, just to save a little bit of money here. So we'll go 5 years still. Let's see if we can get him down. He wants 30. So 5 years, 30 seems okay. Let's say it's 32 maybe. 32 a year. So we'll go that. And then again, AJ Mitchell and Ryan Repair will be back in the qualifying offers. Same thing with Chris Murray, I think. Nope, not Chris Murray. Okay, so Sharp's up to an 87. We have Scoot up to an 86, Clingan up to an 85. Trey Johnson's up. You have Carter Bryant, AJ Mitchell up as well. And then, of course, Jaden will continue to develop. But we're in a really good spot to trade for a star at the deadline. So that's going to be the game plan. We're going to try to acquire a superstar at the trade deadline because we have a bunch of expiring salary, we have a bunch of young players, and we have draft capital. So we should be in a good position at the deadline to make some kind of superstar trade, and we can put ourselves in position to maybe make the playoffs this next year because obviously we've kind of set ourselves up to potentially get there. So let's load this 2027 draft, and so let's look at this rotation going into season number 2. So Pyronk is only 20th overall for us, but here is your proficiency under our new coach in Michael Stauffer. So I guess we'll go back to perimeter centric because that's what we ran last year. Although, actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, since we did run that last year, let's do something different this year. So let's go balance because I think balance was 3.5 too. So let's do balance this time around under Michael Stauffer, and we will be looking to see what star could be available at the deadline to acquire in Portland. And honestly, I'm just going to look at the team intel, and whatever is available, we're just going to go off team intel today. So Scoot, Sharp, Kamara, Denny Avdia, Donovan Clingan, Trey Johnson, Kyle Kuzma, AJ Mitchell, Carter Bryant, and Jaden. So definitely cool with the starting 5. Now, I'd love to get more minutes to Denny Avdia, obviously. We're going to take some minutes away from somebody. Actually, let's take a lot of minutes away from Kuzma. I don't even really care about Kuzma playing that much. So we give Jaden back his minutes. Kuzma can go... Honestly, yeah, we'll just go something like this to Kyle Kuzma. AJ Mitchell can get still a decent amount, but I want Denny Avdia to get 31-ish minutes or something like that. So we'll go with that. Shots in C still are pretty high for Sharp, Denny Avdia, and then Scoot Henderson, and then Trey Johnson's is creeping up, and Kuzma's is just abysmal. You can go down all the way to as far as possible. So we're going to go something like that. All right. I will see you guys at the deadline. I'm hoping to be a good team, and it makes sense to trade for a star. But obviously, we'll have to see. But so far, things are going decently well. But yeah, hopefully we are around 500, and we can trade for our star to kind of put ourselves in position to be a playoff team going forward. So we are at the trade deadline as we're 26-26 on the season. And I told you guys, I want to trade for a star at this deadline. We have plenty of young players and ammunition to make it happen, which is why we're here in the first place. So... I've settled on a couple of ideas. So the first one, well, Memphis is selling too, and they're rebuilding, and there is, I guess, Ja Morant, but at the same time, I don't know if Ja Morant really takes us far. I don't know. Can't really say he wouldn't take as far. It's just I think Scoot's a good player that I don't know. I just don't like that idea. This one definitely has my attention as well with Jaylen Johnson in Atlanta. Trae Young has left, and obviously Jaylen Johnson still fits their timeline, but if we gave them something they couldn't refuse, would they pull the trigger on it? Miami has like Bam Adebayo, and then there's LaMelo Ball in Charlotte, which is interesting as well. Obviously the injury things there. Brandon Miller is still on his rookie contract, so probably won't be acquiring him. Yeah, I think it's between like Jaylen Johnson and LaMelo. Obviously, LaMelo would be taking that point guard spot over, so it would be giving up on Scoot, which I don't want to do because he's actually playing pretty well, I believe. So he's having, he's averaging 16 and 5, nothing too crazy. He is about to be a player that we have to re-sign. So it would be interesting if we brought in LaMelo Ball, though. It would be pretty interesting if we did go that route. I kind of want to do it. Not gonna lie, it's not nothing against Scoot, but I think LaMelo is more realistic than Jaylen Johnson is, which is why I kind of want to go for LaMelo Ball, who would just, be a 91 overall. Obviously, we know what he can do scoring wise. 27 points per game right now. He's a lot taller as well, 6'7", so it just would make our defense and size him much better. So I don't know. Part of me wants to pull the trigger on LaMelo Ball, which is not something I would have thought about. But Scoot Henderson, and of course, this is where that expiring salary comes in. So Scoot Henderson probably has to be the centerpiece of the trade because there's probably no point of having Scoot if we're getting LaMelo, or we could just try to trade for LaMelo without Scoot being in the trade as well. I mean, we could do something like that, but then again, don't really know if that makes sense. So Kuzma and Scoot, or do we just go for Jaylen Johnson so we can keep Scoot on the team? All great questions, but I mean, I need to explore every opportunity here. So Kyle Kuzma, expiring salary would get it done, looks like, without anything else. So I don't even need KCP's contract in here, it looks like. So Kuzma's contract is good enough. We have this swap with the Bucks, and we have a couple young players, like I said. So let's say we did AJ Mitchell, who has some trade value, and maybe it's Carter Bryant, who gives them a new power forward, something like this, where we get Jaylen Johnson. So Avicic and then Barlow. Okay, so like Kuzma, a pick swap, AJ Mitchell, Carter Bryant, we get Jaylen Johnson. This would probably keep Scoot on the team, so it'd probably be a little bit better anyway. So something like this where Jaylen Johnson becomes a Blazer. Let's do it. We're going to go ahead and acquire Jaylen Johnson from the Atlanta Hawks. So just like that, we have our brand new power forward, maybe our new star. He fits the timeline as well, and we keep Scoot on the team, so without trading LaMelo Ball. So Jaylen Johnson is now a Blazer, so obviously that's going to move, unfortunately, Kamara to the bench, which does suck, but at the end of the day, you got to do it because we bring in Jaylen Johnson. So Scoot, Sharp, Jaylen Johnson, Denny Avdia, Donovan Clingan with Trey Johnson, Kamara, Jaden, and then Ryan Repair off the bench. Not looking too shabby. It did suck to trade away Carter Bryant because I was curious to see where he would go in his development. We'll never know, though, unfortunately. So with Jaylen Johnson coming to the team, I do want him to score a little bit. Obviously, with him being kind of the star attraction that we just brought in. The Sharp shot. I mean, there's going to be a lot of guys that need to score here. Scoot's probably going to have to take a back seat, honestly, as a scorer. So Denny Avdia maybe could take a little bit of a back seat too. So Sharp and Jaylen Johnson going to be kind of the guys. We'll see, though. So we're 26-26. Let's see if Jaylen Johnson helps us be a better team. I imagine he will. And we'll see if we finish up as a playoff team by the end of the season. Hopefully we do. So Jokic is your MVP, Boozer is your Rookie of the Year, Whitmore is your sixth man, Wemby Defensive Player, VJ Most Improved, and Brunson is your Clutch Player, and Kidd is your Coach of the Year, and Executive goes to Nathan Mack. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second team, and All-NBA third team, All Defensive first team, and All Defensive second team. So no Blaze. Oh, I guess we got Jaden making All Rookie second team, of course, too. But we are in the play-in tournament for the first time since the bubble, which before the play-in tournament was really a thing. Obviously, it was kind of developed in the bubble. But here is your stats with Sharps averaging 23, 17 from Denny Avdia, 17 from Scoot, 16 from Jaylen Johnson, 15 from Trey Johnson, 10 from Kamara, who got extended, and then 6 and 11 from Donovan Clingan. Now, I will say, once we pay Scoot this offseason, this team is going to be very, very expensive, which is just kind of an interesting thing to think about. So, going to have some tough decisions maybe to make in the future if we don't get a championship done soon here. But we're going to play the Clippers in the play-in, so let's see if we can take them out to get into the actual playoffs. So they want to adjust the minutes accordingly, so we'll go ahead and do that. And then we could probably just run 8-man rotation, honestly, because, yeah, let's just run 8-man rotation in the play-in, in the playoffs, and let's rock with that. Because we need to fill out our depth a little bit better now that we've made the trades that we did. And we didn't even show up. We're literally no show in the play-in tournament. So that is quite unfortunate. 124 to 87. Unfortunately, not what we had in plan. Once we got into the play-in tournament, we were hoping to go far here. But now it's playoff or bust next year. Honestly, you could even say we could maybe be a contender as well as Halliburton and the Pacers get it done. But yeah, we're at the point where we've pushed our chips in the middle and we're trying to get into the actual playoffs. So we got Rockets number 1, Pelicans 2, Jazz. Yeah, LA, the Bulls get our pick. Actually, no, they don't. It's live protected. So we actually get to keep it because we didn't get in. So Stoffer is going to remain the head coach, I guess. And let's go to draft night to get our pick back. And we'll draft with 14th overall selection to add some more depth to this team. So number 14, we're going to walk away with Mustaf Diop, 6'11", forward out of Kentucky. Another big body here. So we'll bring him in to be our brand new power forward off the bench, 74 overall. Gregor Ellis and Dusty Pickett also have been drafted. Klingon and Trey Johnson, thankfully, still on their rookie contracts. And then Scoot, we're going to have to renounce pretty much everybody else. Scoot's going to be the only guy we re-sign this offseason because of how expensive this team is about to be. But, yeah, we'll get it figured out. So we'll renounce pretty much everybody other than Scoot Henderson because we can't pretty much re-sign anybody. So we'll do that. Scoot will be re-signed here in just a second. And we'll try to, do the same thing where we get him for as cheap as we possibly can. Because as you can see, if we look at our salary cap breakdown, we're going to be an expensive team once Scoot is signed to the roster. Thankfully, we have guys, a lot of guys still on their rookie contracts, so that kind of makes up for it. But there's a lot of guys making some money. We did extend Kamara, and then Avdia is going to have to get paid, and Klingon's going to have to get paid. So this is going to be the last year where this team is going to be financially, okay. But after this, we are in a very tough spot. So we're going to re-sign Scoot, though, once it is done. So the hope is that we can be a good team next year and be a contender. Obviously, we haven't made the playoffs just yet, but contention is definitely on our minds going into next year based off the Jaylen Johnson trade alone. So we'll see if it works out that way, and then you'll have guys progressing a little bit more too. But Scoot Henderson is getting offered from the Warriors. Obviously, we're going to come in and give him a 5-year deal. So it's going to be around 29, it looks like. So Scoot, welcome back, and here is your progression. So Jaylen Johnson's up, Sharp is up, Trey Johnson's also up, which makes things a little interesting there. So Trey Johnson, of course, has continued to develop very nicely. So our bench should be good. Jane's up to an 81, Klingon's an 86, and then Diop, Kamara. So we'll have to see, man. Let's go look at this rotation going to year 3. Hope is that this team is ready to put it all together. So Powering List is 17th overall, which is the highest we've been so far in this video, I will say. And we could be, were we 4-star 7 seconds? No, we're only 3.5. So 3.5 still, no matter what proficiency we run. So here is the rotation. So you have Scoot Henderson, Sharp, Jaylen Johnson, Denny Avdia, Donovan Klingon, Trey Johnson, Kamara, Jaden, and Diop as your rotation. So one thing I definitely didn't think about, which I probably should have, is how many mouths there are to feed on this team as far as like scoring is concerned. So I do think at this point, we have to have Jaylen Johnson as the 1 scorer. Shane Sharp is our number 1. Denny Avdia is probably going to have to take a back seat, even though I wanted him to be a superstar. He's probably going to be the one that takes a back seat here. Scoot's going to take a back seat as well. So we'll do something like this where, and then Trey Johnson come down maybe a little bit. But Sharp and Jaylen Johnson, I guess, are going to be the guys we're prioritizing. Mainly prioritizing Jaylen Johnson because how much we gave up for him. And we'll do something along the lines of that. So we'll see if this results in making the playoffs or not. 17th power rank. Hopefully we're at least 4-star proficiency by the end of the season. But Shane Sharp, Jaylen Johnson are the 2 lead guys. Hopefully they can lead us to where we want to go. We start off 1-1. Now we're 1-3. So far off to a brutal start, but hopefully we start to get a win streak going. So Luka Doncic wins MVP for the Chicago Bulls. Darius is a Rookie of the Year. Mikal Brown's your 6th man and Wayne Defensive Player. Rasheer Fleming, most improved in LA. He's up to an 82 overall. Anthony Edwards, Clutch Player, and Billy Donovan, Coach of the Year. And Austin Newsome is your executive. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third team. So we don't have any All-NBA representatives, unfortunately, but we are the 3rd seed out west. So the win streak did come, and we started to put some things together. You had Shane Sharp leading away with 24, Jaylen Johnson with 20 and 8, which is what we wanted. 17 from Trey Johnson, 17 from Scoot, 13 from Denny Avdia, and then you had Klingon with 7 and 11, 8 from Kamara, 7 from Jaden. So yeah, we have to hope we have a good playoff run here because the financial hell is coming. It really is. So we really hope that things go in our favor this year, but we'll see. So we have to play the Pelicans in round 1. which of course I could have traded for Zion earlier, which a lot of Blazers fans seem to be a fan of doing. I am not, because of the injury concern with him, obviously, but we'll see how it goes. Game 1 goes to us, 131-125. So Trey Johnson, great game to start things off. They even it up. Game 3 goes to them. Game 4 goes to us. Okay, let's see if we can win Game 5 at home in Portland to take a 3-2 lead. The last time the Pelicans and the Blazers played as a 3rd and the 6th seed, it gave me nightmares for a year. Just kidding. But it was horrible, as we all remember. Oh gosh, this went to OT. 2 overtimes, and we do win 153-161. But yeah, if you remember, the Blazers were a 3rd seed, and the Pelicans were a 6th seed. We all know how it ended. It was horrible as a Blazers fan. It was awful to watch. Yeah, I'm just going to keep it at that. So let's see if we can finish them off in 6. Looking like it will be. Yes, 143-126 as Jaylen Johnson had a 34-22 game here to push us in, which is great. Okay. Now we draw Anthony Edwards and Timberwolves, though. We're the 7 seeds. We are home court advantage still. And they have Gigi Jackson, Rudy Gobert, McDaniels, Ace Noel. So a good team in Minnesota. Don't get me wrong. But I'm hoping we have built to this point to where we are better. Ray Johnson up to an 88 overall. So we'll see. Game 1 goes to them. Game 2 goes to us. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to us. Game 5 goes to us. Okay. If we can take out Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves, we might be in good shape. We might be in good shape. San Antonio and Golden State. Golden State goes up. And oh, I honestly would rather play the Warriors. But do they have Why do they always get Jokic? It's like, and Porter. So 2 different Nuggets. But yeah, it's like, so who would I rather play? Jokic or Wembanyama? I don't know. Pick your poison. We get San Antonio. So Scoot Henderson versus Wembanyama, obviously from the same draft class. There was a little bit of a rivalry there. But now we'll see if we can get the better of the Spurs. So game 1 goes to them. Game 2 goes to us, 123-107. They also have Trae Young with which they didn't keep Fox, which is kind of interesting. So game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to them. Okay, so we got to go to Simcast of the game 5. Do they want to start Kamara? I can't get behind that. I want to keep Deni Avdija in the starting 5 for his rebounding and his craziness on the court. So let's see if we can't take the game 5 away from them at home. It looks like we might be able to do that, and we will. So we're going to win 117-91. One more game, and we're in the finals. That's all we got to do. Give less minutes to Shaden Sharp. No, thank you. That's our best score. We need him out there. So please go out there and take out the Spurs in 6. Oh my gosh, we have the lead. Don't blow it. Don't blow it. We hang on. 97-102. We are in the finals. We're playing the Cavaliers, though. Okay, so Cleveland, who's down 0-2 in real life right now. Blame it on the injuries. Blame it on whatever you want. But Halliburton's been an absolute freaking stud. So, all right. I mean, I felt like we built this team up to this point to be here. Honestly, was just hoping to make the playoffs, but we're in the finals now. And it's actually a great time to win a championship because if we go another year, we're going to have to let somebody walk, and it's going to suck. So game 1 goes to us, 135-111. Good start, 29-9 from Deni Avdija. The one thing we have about this team, which sometimes doesn't work in a 2K sim, is we have so many players. We have, I would say, we have 5 players that can give you 20 any given night, which is the beautiful part about this. And we got the nice complement of defense as well, but they even it up. Game 3 goes to Cleveland. Bro, I need to win this series really badly because I'm not ready to make the decisions I'm going to have to make this offseason. So can we even the series, please, and be in a position to win game 5 at home? All right, so we will even the series, 156-114. 48 and Trey Johnson has to stay on this team. And I guess he's last year of his rookie contract, thankfully. But yeah, I don't know how it would fit everybody on this roster. It'd be an interesting. Like, we might have to let Deni Avdija walk, which would really suck, which I don't want to do. So please, please, please win game 5. They have the lead, and we are in trouble. 113-106. Oh, boy. All right. Game 6 in Cleveland. Win game 6. We go to game 7. We could be in, be fine. Just hang on to the lead. Hang on to the lead. And they are close. Oh, my gosh. They got so close to getting back in this game. So close. Okay. Game 7 to win a championship in Portland at home. Blow them out. Come on. Let's just blow them out. Please don't make me make a tough decision today, 2K. We need it. Okay, we got the lead right now. We got to jump in and watch this. Oh, wait a minute. We have the nice lead here. Just hang on. 107-119. I think we have done it. As long as we don't blow a 12-point lead with a minute 12 left, then we're good. We are good. All right. I don't have to make any tough decisions. We can end off on a championship. which is beautiful because, dude, I was not ready to let somebody go the way I would have had to have done based off just trying to be like realistic and not pay everybody so much money. But 109 to 119. Skill Henderson's going to get the inbound. Honestly, I think I might be able to burn Garland to the basket. I thought I was going to be able to. There we go. Let's go. 121 to 109. Scoot still wearing the glasses. All right, let's see if we got Kamara out here on DeAndre Hunter. Let's see. But yeah, this was a really nice rotation. You know, thinking back on it, because we had those expiring contracts, I kind of almost wish I didn't trade for Jaylen Johnson in some ways. But in other ways, I mean, it ended up in a championship. So what are we complaining about, right? Like, what's there to be upset with? Oh my gosh, I really wanted to attack again, but Jaylen Johnson, let's give him. Oh, he's got the mismatch of Donovan Mitchell. Let's take advantage of this, hopefully. And what the hell? Just okay. Well, let's just pretend we didn't see that because that was pretty crazy. How does 2K even animate you to freaking shoot behind the backboard? Doesn't even make sense. Okay, so Moby's gonna shoot a 3. He misses it. They're not going to foul. That is all she wrote. What a beautiful way to end this video, man. Like I said, tough decisions were about to be made, so I'm glad we avoid that altogether. I'm going to shoot one more 3, though, so let's see if they allow Trey Johnson. Nope, he kind of comes inside. Oh, that's what she said. But, all right, we get the putback. 109, 123. All right, that will be all she wrote. So the Blazers video ends off in a championship, which is fantastic because it is my favorite team and we're winning a championship next year. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see y'all in the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.